And we're back. Very many thanks for choosing to stay with us. And in case you're just joining us, welcome to Kenya's Gold, where the focus of the day, as is the norm every single Friday, is on climate smart agriculture and sustainability. We're very keen to see how the young people are at the forefront when it comes to fighting for a better environment. And today will not be any different, because we are joined by Resiato Tamari, a 19-year-old girl who is the founder of Ma Girl Foundation and also very passionate about all matters environment and sustainability. Thank you so very much for making time to be with us today representing the culture. You look so good.
Thank you.
I'm very curious, what does Resiato mean? Because I know most of the Maasai names do carry symbolic meanings.
Yeah, Resiato means beautiful.
Come on now, I see no lies in that statement. You are absolutely beautiful.
Thank
Karibu
you.
sana Kenya's Gold.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, we just want to get into the conversation right now. And you are the founder of Ma Girl Foundation,
Yes.
which is at the forefront for fighting for a better environment. Please help me understand what inspired you at such a young age to come up with such a powerful initiative.
The Maasai community really depends on climate and livestock and planting of crops for our livelihood. So it is very, very important for the community to get involved in... Yeah, sorry, just a bit tensed.
No, it's okay,
yeah,
you're doing
so it is
alright.
very important for the community to get involved in climate action. Yes.
So that motivated you to get to open this foundation.
Yes.
When did you open it?
Last year, 15th September.
Right, so you're almost turning a year in the
Yeah.
Ma Girl Foundation.
Yeah.
And how has the journey been so far? And also, nisaidie tukuelewa activities ambazo umefanya together with members in the Maasai community that are helping in fixing our environment, especially now that we're going through global warming and such devastating effects to the environment.
Yeah. The journey has been very nice, interesting, and fun, because we work with young people, especially the girls and women. We do beekeeping because we understand that the bees are very crucial in climate action. And it's actually very easy because you don't get to do a lot of work. They do the work for you. All you need to do is just keep your bees well. We plant a lot of trees because trees hold the soil and they also hold the carbon from going to the air.
All right.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of beekeeping, and you've said the bees do all the work.
Yes.
Kazi yako tu ni kuweka bees zako
Exactly.
vizuri. And you also plant a lot of trees.
Yes.
Now, right there at tree planting, yes, we do have a target of about 15 billion trees by 2032.
Yes.
First of all, as a young person, do you believe we can achieve that?
I believe it's absolutely
Possible.
yes.
Right. But now there's a challenge that we go through, because sometimes you find we focus a lot on planting the trees, but we do not put equal energy in making sure that these trees we are planting are growing as well. So that's true.
Yes.
So for you to make sure that this initiative that you have started, you see it all the way through to fruition, what are those things that you're doing in the communities, in the Maasai community, to make sure that we're also growing these trees that we are planting?
We encourage the women to do in their homes, because at the home you have every single day you'll interact with the trees. So it is very encouraging to do it at home. We also have tree nurseries where we have chamas. You know, women have a lot of chamas. Wanapenda kwenda chama. So hata wakimaliza kunywa chai, they make sure they've checked on their trees. In schools, when we plant the trees, they're assigned to specific students. Each student has their own tree. So that gives a sense of responsibility to each student to take care of their tree, because at the end they will need to look at whose tree has grown more than the other.
Right. So in short, you're like personalizing this tree. Mpaka
Yes.
usipoiangalia una
You have
feel
to own
guilty.
it.
Right. And you've been very, from the very beginning of the conversation, you've mentioned women and girls, women and girls,
Yes.
women and girls. Where are the boys?
The boys are still there,
Right.
and I'm encouraging every other male person to stand up for the boys. Me as a girl, I'll stand up for my girls because I have been born a girl. I didn't choose to be born a girl, but I'll stand up for my sisters.
You forgot to say a beautiful girl at that.
Exactly.
Now, something also very important is the fact that the Maasai community is a marginalized community, and more often than not, they are left out from these conversations. Maybe you can tell us, now that there has been a lot of effort to involve communities, are you seeing a change? Are we now involving you even in the high-level summits so that we have a representative from Maasai, speaking from the people in the Maasai community, not a person who doesn't even has almost never been there, but is doing a theory presentation for you in this summit. How is it so far now?
So far, it is very little. I think it's at the young stage. It's growing, and I'd like to encourage us to engage more with the communities, because even when we conduct our sensitization activities, we find out that they knew little to know about the environment, very little about the environment. So it is important for us to get more involved. There's still a lot of work to be done. I'll go with the statement, so little done, so much to do.
Right. Kwa hivyo bado hiyo inclusion,
yes,
it's not being felt 100%.
Not 100%.
Is there hope though?
There is a lot of hope.
How
You can
so?
see young people like me are standing out for the environment. And I can tell you that I'm not the only one. There are very, very, very many more young people. Like even my own classmates, they get involved. So there's a lot of hope because the youth are getting involved in the environment.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's hope. At least we have some
Yes.
faith in that.
Yeah.
Right. Now, when we were starting out the show, we did have a very fantastic spoken word artist. And one of the things he said is the fact that sometimes when we're talking climate change, those terms can sometimes feel a bit scientific. Unajua ukienda huko indigenous community, hebu niambie village moja huko Masaini.
Enosen.
Okay?
Enosen.
Enoseng. Ukifika huko Enoseng, na unataka an elderly lady huko Enoseng, or even just a young girl in Enoseng, interior indigenous communities kabisa, aelewe global warming, aelewe greenhouse gases, aelewe proper waste disposal, aelewe that extensive farming of your cows, given that your community, you are pastoralists mostly, ina contribute to global warming. Huwa mnafanya je ndio hiyo waelewe hiyo lugha, because it can be a bit scientific sometimes.
Yes.
Quite, you know.
Yeah. You make it very simple for them because you relate it to the daily activities that they do, especially when you're talking to them. Unawaambia kuhusu when you're taking your cows, ask them, wakati umegraze a cow in a same place for a long time, what happens? Then they start telling you, you notice that there is no grass anymore, you notice that the land is dry. So those observations make them realize that this is actually climate change.
Right.
You ask them about the heat that we experience nowadays. It's a lot of heat, and they can relate because these are things that they can feel.
Right. So if you look at the journey you started almost a year ago with your foundation, pushing for a better environment, and where we are now, give us a success story. Ni nini ambayo haikuwa inafanyika hapo kitambo, but now because of the sensitization, because of the work that you're doing there, you're seeing an improvement in the way that we are responding to the environment. Please tell us about that.
First of all, is seeing the excitement in the community when matters to do with climate. When you talk about we are going to plant trees, we are going to do this, they are very ready, ever ready. Even some of them give themselves to say that we shall make sure these trees grow. You look at every family, we can say not every family, that would be a lie, but most of the families that we work with have a kitchen garden. We encourage them not to buy vegetables from outside. It's better to have your own and grow your things from your home. So the future is bright.
All right. So you're seeing positive results.
Yes.
But I'm sure the journey has not been without any challenges.
Yeah, there have been a lot of challenges.
Talk to us about those challenges.
Yeah, for example, when you're getting to involve the community to come together, sometimes you find you don't have the tools that you need to implement what you're doing. For example, we do beekeeping, and many women want to get involved in beekeeping, but some of them are not able to afford the tools and anything that is needed. But I believe that we are on the right track.
Right.
We will get there.
Who inspires you? Because at 19 and your feet are already deep in, leaving a positive impression in this community. You must have been raised by a community of fire people.
Yes.
Tell me where you draw your inspiration
I draw
from.
my inspiration from my parents, my mom and my dad.
Come on, are they watching?
I don't know if they're watching, but hello, wherever you are. They encouraged me from a young age, since when I was growing, to make sure that you give back to your community. And they themselves give back to the community, so they're my inspiration.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I'm thinking about the Maasai community, one of the main activities that they engage in, of course, is pastoralism, right? And sometimes how we conduct pastoralism can contribute highly to climate change effects. Here we are talking about extensive farming, the waste from these animals tunaziacha tu anywhere in the grounds, and also overgrazing, you know, without, you know, doing much to bring back what we've grazed on. Are you also speaking to your communities on the right way to go about this activity? And also, are we seeing crop diversification as a way of improving food security in the community?
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
So we encourage the women to make sure that when you graze at a place, you do the rotation. So you divide your land into paddocks, and then you rotate the cows. We also teach them on which crops should be planted on which season. We actually encourage them to do crops that have 3 months harvest.
All right.
And they keep on rotating.
Give us examples of these crops that you encourage them.
Beans,
right.
Because for beans you can even plant them in between maize. So maize and beans are what we encourage them. Also vegetables like saga, I don't know the English name. Yeah, but saga, sinyum najua, yeah, that one.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much, Risiato, for talking to us. Just maybe one last question and then we wind up this session.
Okay.
In the budgetary allocation 2024-2025, we are seeing a lot of consideration for the women and the youth in agriculture. Yeah. How does that make you feel as a young person at the forefront?
If I could stand, I would. I am very excited because that shows a lot of responsibility from the government. They're looking forward to involving the youth and the women, and that's a good initiative.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're happy?
Very.
Good.
Very happy.
Thank you so very much, Risiato, for speaking to us and sharing those very powerful gems about what you're doing for the community in Maasai land. And keep up the good job. We are taking another break, but when you come back, I want you to very quickly teach me a Maasai move.
Yes.
I know there's a lot of head movements.
Yeah.
And
make sure you also move your shoulder.
Oh, I move my shoulders as well. All right, those are the lessons that we will be learning when we come back after this break. And also, we will be trying to get the answers to our farm joke of the day. That and more when we come back.